Okay, we are now recording. Welcome again to our weekly call. Right, let's kick off. If I share my slides, okay, which I'm now doing. It should be on your respective screens. Yeah, as I was saying, I wasn't really planning to do a call this week, but worked out I could fit one in just before the start of the ICANN Connected Parties, or sorry, Contracted Parties Summit. Um, Schedule wise, so firstly, thank you to our sponsors, as always, DNS OARC, whose support much appreciated. We're really just going to dive straight in with some of the sort of recent developments from the last week or so, which have been quite a lot, and then just cover off a few other things. So it'll probably be a slightly shorter call than usual. But hopefully useful nevertheless. Um, and those of you with our weekly headlines would have got this this morning. If you didn't get it and want to be added to the mailing list, just ping me an email and I will happily add you. So continuing coverage of the NIST DNS Security document, which we've talked about previously on here, but it's continuing to get positive coverage in various parts of the press, which is good to see. But also on the back of that, I spied an interview with Ross, who I think is on the call. Was on the call. Oh, yes, he is. Yes. Discussing encrypted DNS and other stuff, which I thought was also interesting. So I'll put a link to that as well. So if you have time, that's worth a listen.
Glad you found it worthwhile.
Thanks, Ross. Also another topic we've sort of discussed on this call, ADoX, or to put it more fully, encrypted resolver to authoritative DNS, which is a lot less snappy than ADoX, which Sarah Dickinson has covered off as recently as the end of end of March. And I think is also talking about the forthcoming DNS OARC meeting. There was a sort of an article in the recent Right Labs blog, where Yevgenia Noisk of Core Labs and colleagues were measuring adoption rates. And the sort of TLDR sort of version is adoption rates are quite low at the moment and quite confined to a very relatively small number of early adopter organizations, which is not a surprise as it's still very much, I think, at the experimental stage. But nevertheless, interesting to see some data on that. I should have said, by the way, if anyone's got any comments, yeah, just jump in as we go through, which I'm sure you will, but just for the avoidance of doubt, please do that. Yeah, we had the latest quarterly stats on the number of domain name registrations, which is sort of continuing to rise quarter on quarter, but not by a huge amount, 1.4% over the last quarter, but there's still 5.6 million, so a net increase of 5.6 million domains. It'll be interesting to see what those stats look like at the end of this year, early next year, assuming that the new GTLD process completes on schedule, because there could be a bit of a jump on the back of that. Who knows? And then since we were talking before starting the call proper about our AI overlords, there's a nice piece with Simone Catania of Internex, just looking at some of the challenges facing the domain industry in Circle ID. And he sort of called out a number of issues, whether it's domains for AI agents, DNS abuse and mitigation for that, and various other things. And he also references ICANN's new GTLD program. So that was quite interesting. And also, sort of separate article, also in Circle ID at roughly the same time, Paulius Judicus looked at the growth in agentic AI traffic, which apparently grew by just under 8,000% last year. And given that we found, I think it was roughly middle of last year, that or just part, I think it was July last year, that traffic from LLMs was or from AI crawlers was approaching 50% of total traffic for some sites. When you layer on agentic AI to that, then that's really starting to push the percentage of, let's call it human traffic or directly human generated traffic into the minority. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out over time. And the article from Paulius sort of touches on some of the possible implications for that, which I thought was quite interesting. Not seen anything on that specifically previously. So that caught my eye. Other stuff, yeah, Neil Smythe, who writes various pieces from time to time, just putting in a nice piece accessible via LinkedIn on the DNS being an underrated control plane for cybersecurity, which I think is fair, and also a highly exploited attack surface. I'm guessing most people on this call would probably appreciate that, but yeah, it was interesting to see that. Also, changing subject slightly, but again, I found this interesting. Some of you may recall a discussion at and after the last ITF meeting about geolocation using IP or IP geolocation, if you like, and certainly some within the ITF community thinking that was a significant privacy concern that should be blocked or stopped somehow. So yeah, found the article by Kenny Huang of the Taiwanese Nick. Also interesting because he looked at ways to make it more reliable as an indicator. Essentially, he was making the point that currently it largely relies on self-assertions, and that there were ways that you could make it much more reliable than that, and sort of use it, in his words, to build a definitive chain of trust. So obviously conflicting direction of travel between those two things, but nevertheless, yeah, I thought that was worth a look. Other things, probably not so interesting to all of us. Yeah, latest quarterly stats of the ICANN's registration data request service, which I think speaks for itself. If you're interested in that, the stats are available and are made available every quarter. Also, Bevel Wooding wrote a piece, a sort of internet governance related piece, looking at network operator groups, NOGs, of which there are many around the world, some of which have faced sort of financial challenges. I know the UK NOG sort of folded and has been reformed under a slightly new guise. And as Bevel just wrote a piece about, if you like, where they came from was mainly around technical challenges, whereas now there are some sort of different institutional governance challenges as well. So maybe they need a slightly different model. And I think finally, I think these are maybe the last few. Nice piece by, I think this is Infoblox, yes, Craig Sanderson, part of the Infoblox team, just looking at the implications of Anthropic and Mythos and what that means by way of cybersecurity, and he just looked at that, if you like, more broadly, applying it to the DNS with some organizations towards the end of the article for an AI-driven automation strategy as an important sort of mitigation tool. I know we touched on that sort of general trend of agentic AI favoring attackers. So if you like the other side of that, I think Craig is just highlighting some of the mechanisms that might at least start to level the playing field a little. Yeah, I'm not sure the other ones are worthy of much comment. Just quickly skipping over. Oh yeah, okay. Just I'll pick on the last two on this slide, and that typo. Apologies. DNS working group. So the RIPE DNS working group has published the agenda for its forthcoming meeting. So click on the link, you can see what the agenda is, but also Ulrich, one of the co-chairs, just put in a reminder along with the agenda that they were still seeking expressions of support or opposition to the new proposed co-chair, and of asking expressions of, as I say, support or opposition on the DNS working group mailing list by the 18th of May. So there's still a little time for that if you have an opinion. And I've completely forgotten the name of the would-be new co-chair. Apologies. Should have put that in there. That would have been useful. Feel free to post that in the chat if anyone is immediately familiar.
Can't you just click that link?
I probably could. That's a very fair point. Gosh, this newfangled modern stuff. Let's do that and see what happens. I don't know if I'm screen sharing this.
You're not, but if you're just looking for the name, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, but weirdly, it's caused my machine to freeze. Let's just see if. Oh, I think because I'm using the hotel Wi-Fi to stream. Oh, here we are. Right, annoyingly, I've clicked on the link. It tells me the agenda, but it doesn't actually. So Ulrich also didn't put the name of the would-be new co-chair. Okay, I'll circulate that afterwards rather than spending time on it now. But yeah, if you have an opinion, you've got till the middle of May, 18th of May, to express it. Yeah, and then final one, which came out in the last few days, the next meeting in the Internet Governance Forum, which sort of meets annually. It normally meets towards the end of the year. It broke with that tradition last year to fit in with the UN process, but it is meeting between the 14th and the 18th of December in Nairobi. Which I believe is pleasantly warm and quite sunny at that time of year. So if you want a little bit of winter sun, are able to accommodate the IGF, then that will be a good place to be just before Christmas this year. There's no more detail than that at the moment. They haven't confirmed the actual venue, but they have confirmed at least the city and the dates. So at this stage, it's more of a hold the dates than it is sort of an encouragement to make bookings. But no doubt that will come shortly, hopefully. Whole bunch of other things. Probably won't go through most of these. Yeah, the third bullet point, I mentioned this last week, but there's a bit more information now. It looks like there's going to be a proposal for federal privacy law in the US. That's the sort of details behind that starting to flesh out somewhat. The thing, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else particularly noteworthy. Yeah, and there's a bunch of stuff about some cybersecurity concerns coming out of the sort of Five Eyes and others from some, I think, Chinese linked or allegedly Chinese-linked attackers, amongst other things. Sorry, I just saw your note, sorry, in the chat. Sorry, I'm using two screens today, Alison. Apologies, I didn't mean to ignore that. On Agentic AI and DNS, probably worth flagging a message from the DNS Ops working group about a potential BOF. Yeah, I'll add that to the notes post call, and there is a new mailing list, ITF mailing list on that topic as well. I think acronym of DAWN, DAWN, as well, which I'm sure stands for something amusing and pithy, but I can't remember what it is. So yeah, there seems to be a little bit of interest in that general topic, from some at least.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's that the working group, the mailing list is actually noted in that message. So people can take a look. And I think I saw, but I don't know where it was published, a very good analysis of why it's a good idea to standardize this from Infoblox. I don't know if someone here wants to comment here, but I got forwarded a PDF, but it looks like there's some really good analysis going on about why this is important for the IETF to do versus letting it either be not standardized or be kind of captured by various industry parties. So
Yeah, I think Dawn,
yeah.
possibly Jim Mosley.
Yep. Jim would be the key resource to ask on that one.
Yeah, and I took an action on the last call, which I've not had a chance to do yet, to get Jim and some others on this call to talk about it. And funny enough,
I did shoot him a note and give him a heads up. You might be reaching out to him, so he's aware.
perfect. And one of the sessions at the ICANN meeting today, tomorrow, Wednesday, is on the same topic. Someone from GoDaddy is presenting, so I'm going to try and nobble them as well, given they've launched or at least announced a product along with partner Zoom Law, I think they were called. They made an announcement a couple of weeks ago, which you'll see a link from as I say, it's 3 weeks ago on this call, if I remember rightly. But yes, thanks, Alison.
Yeah. Could I also interject one other thing? I read ahead, so I looked at the announcement about the U.S. Congressional work on data privacy, and there is actually a statement in that announcement from the Democrats about feeling this was very corporate and would override individual protections that the state corporate focused, and would override a lot of existing individual protections. I mean, one of the noteworthy ones is the state of California's set of laws there. So it's definitely complicated, not, oh boy, good, it's the US is finally thinking about this.
Yes. Yeah, that's fair. And you're absolutely right. It's intended to override any state legislation. I think that was the intent from what I recall. And no doubt, I'm imagining there will be some considerable time before any actual legislation, if any, pops out of the sausage machine. But it's just interesting to see that there's an appetite from some, at least, that there might be federal sort of privacy protections. But noting how strong some of the lobbying is in the US, whether what comes out the machine is good or bad, I guess we'll see. But yeah. I think fair comment is not necessarily a good thing, depending on your perspective. Okay, just other things. Various deadlines are coming up. The obvious one, if you want to present at NANOG 97, the deadline's today. So you best hurry up to get your submission in. A few other things. There's an Internet Society Community Advocacy Fellowship coming up soonish, the 3rd of May. And also talking of NOG, standard registration rates end on the 4th of May, and then the rate kicks up slightly. And then we're not so far away from the deadline for the NOG .fi, so the Finnish NOG, as we spoke about NOGs earlier, call for presentations, deadline of the 11th of May. So it's a few things coming up over the next little while. Just to be aware of if you weren't already.
May the 4th be with you.
Indeed, we do. We do, and also on May the 4th, of course, next Monday, we've got an excellent presentation lined up on the DOP-ARPA abuse, just as a reminder. Not that it was on that list, but there you are. And speaking of events, I've already mentioned about the Contracted Parties Summit taking place here in Manchester, starting in half an hour or so, and mainly running through tomorrow and Wednesday. There's a session that we talk about the NIST document. I think it's an Infoblox hosted session about the DNS Security Guide on the 6th of May.
It is, and I will. It'll be me, Cricket, and Craig Sanderson.
Okay, so 2 of the 3 co-authors, so you'll get it direct from the horse's mouth, as it were, which is no bad thing. So yeah, definitely worth registering for that. Yeah, various other things coming up, which you could read for yourselves, but yeah, quite a lot of events over the next couple of months, as you can see, of which this is just a selection. So yes, talking about May the 4th. So thank you, Alexi, for that. Yep, it's Brett Eskridge from Infoblox is coming on. He's one of the members of the excellent threat intelligence team at Infoblox, talking about they discovered about .ARPA abuse, which was, I think, a new innovative attack vector. Demonstrating that innovative doesn't necessarily mean good, certainly not this time, but good to know about it, certainly. And then week after that, we'll do a little preview of what's coming up on the agenda for OAuth 46 and RIPE 92, which are back to back in Edinburgh. From the following Friday, or from that Friday rather. And of course, as I've mentioned previously, whilst we're in Edinburgh, that Monday the 18th, we'll do a sort of a hybrid session. So if you're attending RIPE 92, we'd sort of join in person, and we'll I think it will be mainly I think John Todd from Quad 9, possibly one or more colleagues, doing an update on some of the stuff that they've developed recently or are developing, which I think should be quite interesting and nice to do that in person for a change. I'm sure immediately afterwards we'll find our way to somewhere suitable to have a drink or two, which will also be good. So that's the plan. I should mention Alexi suggested a couple of weeks ago now a session on catalog zones, which we penciled in at the moment for the 29th of June, pending confirmation of availability of the sort of participants. So 29th June session is very tentative at the moment, but hopefully we'll firm that up once everybody's sort of diary is confirmed. And I think that, yes, that is indeed it for me. So let me stop sharing so you can look at people rather than slides, and just ask, yeah, anything from anyone else? Any comments on anything, or indeed anything else that you want to bring up on this? Certainly in Manchester, fine, sunny, and surprisingly warm afternoon. And if you do have anything, I'll put it in the chat or just unmute and talk, whichever is more convenient. Or have I just bludgeoned everyone into silence? Looks like I may have done. Ah. Um, David, do you want to? So I'm not sure what presentation of the underminer. Do you want to just expand on your comment in the chat, if you're able to unmute?
Did you run out of battery?
Looks like you're unmuted, but no sound is coming out, which is a bad state of affairs. I don't know if you've got a hardware mute on your microphone. I occasionally press that, which catches me
Yeah, I
up.
don't know what's going on. You
There
guys,
you
It works. Now it works.
That's
said it.
working.
Okay. The underminer is a term that we use to describe a new under a new domain fronting like technique. And we are going to be sharing the details. Right now, we're just going through a responsible disclosure with a number of vendors. But I just wanted to offer you, Andrew, that I could, if you have a slot available after DNS at Work, which will be the first semi-public presentation of it, I'd be happy to present a customized version to this group at that time, because I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions that will be coming out of that.
Oh, perfect. All right. Well, yeah, I'll ping you an email, David, and so yeah, from the list, any of the currently TBA dates, feel free. We can slot you in for any of those, and that'd be good timing because yeah, if it generates questions during OARC, then people have had a chance to reflect on it and then come back with even harder questions, which would be marvelous. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we'll do that. Right, last call for any other comments or anything else anyone wants to mention? If not, let's call it a wrap there. Thanks for joining, everyone. I will now head off to the Contracted Parties Summit, which I'm sure will be fun. Have a brilliant week. We can talk about that and a whole bunch of other stuff, but mainly the .ARPA exploitation on Monday next week. So, as Alexi said earlier, may the 4th be with you and all that. So, have a great week, everyone. See you next Monday.
Have a nice May 1st as well.
Yeah.
Cheers.